Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from SacredSoulEmpowerment.com. Here to do your weekly angel card reading for Monday, January 27th through Sunday, February 2nd, 2020. For this week's weekly reading, we'll be using the Fairy Tarot deck by Radleigh Valentine for the main message for everyone. And your special message card this week, depending on your stone of choice, will be coming from the Wisdom of the Oracle card deck by Colette Baron Reed. So just a quick update. Of the last weekly video, I had asked about how the volume sounded because I've been getting several comments since getting a new phone, which is how I record my videos, as to the volume. Now, some of you are saying the volume is fine and others are saying it's not good or that it's less than what the intro and outro is. And I did try a different microphone for last week's video and asked for you to comment. And I'm still getting various comments of some of you saying it sounds great and it's always sounded great. Some of you are saying that it sounds better than it has, and others of you are still saying that they can't hear me very well. So I'm very perplexed as to the wide range of different comments happening, and we're going to just move forward this week with the same microphone that I used for last week, and I'm trying to hold it a little bit closer to where I'm speaking so that maybe it's a little bit more clear. When I get to the part where I'm shuffling the cards for the special message card, however, I do have to kind of put that down. So hopefully you can hear me, and if not, I will just move forward and think about getting an external microphone at some point in the future when I'm able. Okay, so thank you for letting me explain all of that. Let's go ahead and take a look at your stones of choice for this week's weekly reading. So the first stone of choice here is called window quartz, and this is a purple or lavender colored window quartz. And the window quartz here is a harmonizer of higher vibrational energies of the aura and the light body specifically. It's a powerful teacher crystal to help one to accept the truth of oneself. And I liked this particular window quartz because it actually does look like a window or a doorway to another or higher dimension. Okay, and then your second stone of choice here is howlite. And howlite is a stone that helps to teach patience to us. And I know that with the energies of the beginning of 2020 and where we're at in the present moment, a lot of us needs that idea of patience in our lives. This is also a great stone to help stimulate knowledge, and it helps to facilitate calm communication with people. It also encourages emotional expression. And then your last stone of choice is Chinese fluorite, which is a fluorite that has green, blue, and purple colors in it. And the Chinese fluorite helps to bring order to chaos. It helps to clarify thoughts and emotions. It brings healing to the emotional body, mental body, and spiritual bodies, and it helps to bring energy of purity and harmony from the universe. So again, your stones of choice are the purple window quartz, the howlite, or the Chinese fluorite. So let's go ahead and start with the astrology for the week. And just another kind of announcement is that this week's weekly reading takes us into a new month, the month of February. So be sure to go onto my YouTube channel under Colleen Lemma and watch the monthly angel card reading for the month of February to get an overview of the entire month, the numerology vibration, the astrological significance, and messages from our angels and guides. And if you haven't already watched January's monthly video, you might want to go back and watch that too. There's a little bit about the year 2020 as a whole in that video, and you can also kind of review that first month of the year. Okay, so let's talk about the astrological significance this week, January 27th through February 2nd. We start out on Monday the 27th with Venus connecting with Neptune. Now, Venus is the planet of love, relationships. It rules the divine feminine energies. It rules the concept of merging. It also does rule personal resources, which includes finances and money. Now, she's in the sign of Pisces right now, and Pisces, of course, is that last sign of the zodiac that rules unconditional love and compassion and creativity and spirituality. And it connects with the planet Neptune. Neptune is the planet of spirituality, and it rules those higher dimensional energies. And Pisces is his home sign. So Neptune rules Pisces naturally in the zodiac. So here we have this planet of love, Venus, connecting with the higher octave of love, if you will, Neptune, universal love at a higher level. And as they come together, it's just this very romantic and compassionate and beautifying, wonderful kind of energy. It's like a magical energy here with Venus and Neptune. Neptune can bring a lot of spiritual magic into our lives. It's not a great planet if you want to stay grounded on the earth plane, but if you want to reach those higher planes of existence and use your imagination and use your visualization abilities to kind of create in your mind what it is that you desire to create on the earth plane, Neptune is your planet for that. Now, Venus brings blessings of her own. Venus is one of the two planets that brings blessings in astrology. Jupiter is the greater of the two. And Venus also, again, it brings these wonderful prosperity, abundant types of blessings into our life. And she's in that magical sign of Pisces again. So as they come together, this can be a wonderful, magical, romantic, creative, universal love kind of energy. Now, when it comes to money and finances, she might wear rose-colored glasses, as she might in relationship matters as well. But again, with money and finances, it's one of those things to where we get enamored with something that we would really like, and in our energy of being enamored, we might very quickly or easily spend money on things that we might not otherwise if we were more grounded or practical. So that's just kind of a heads up as far as that's concerned, but it can also, again, bring in some sort of magical prosperity and abundance. It all depends on how it's affecting your chart and how you utilize the energy. On Tuesday, the 28th, we have something going on with Neptune as well. This time it's Mars connecting with Neptune, but not in a positive conjunction form. This is in a challenging square. So Mars is in Sagittarius, and it's challenging or squaring Neptune in Pisces. Now, Mars is the planet of the masculine energy. It's about energy, action, forward movement. You can even say somewhat about leadership. It's also about a sense of having passion and moving forward again in life. It's in Sagittarius, which is an inspirational fire sign. So as Mars is challenging Neptune on Tuesday, and it's just on the heels of Venus coming together with Neptune on Monday, with the Mars-Neptune, there might be a little bit of confusion. There might be indecision as far as actions or which way to go, what the plan is. There might be more chaotic situations in one's life because they're both in what's called mutable signs. Sagittarius is mutable, Pisces is mutable, meaning changeable and not grounded. So we have a lot of kind of chaotic, confused energy here with Mars and Neptune. Again, plans may not go as we desire, or we make a decision and then we backtrack and want to make a different decision. It can bring in some situations and circumstances of illusion or things not being seen clearly as how things are unfolding or how communications are happening or how plans are looking to us. So just be aware that with both the Venus and the Mars connecting with Neptune at the beginning of the week, there's again this tendency to not see things clearly or not move forward with a clear direction or wear those rose-colored glasses when it comes to relationships, partnerships, maybe business, money, finances, and other types of circumstances in our life. And then on Wednesday the 29th, the moon happens to be in Aries at that time. Actually just enters Aries on the 29th, Wednesday. And it's going to be connecting with Chiron, the wounded healer, also in Aries, and then making what's called a sextile connection to the sun in Aquarius. And I thought I would mention this because Chiron to me is a big deal. Chiron is where we carry this past life wound. This is also where we can bring healing into our lives. And with Chiron being in Aries at this time, we're healing a lot about our sense of self. We're healing a lot about our sense of self-identity, independence, leadership ability, identity, all of those things that Aries would rule. And with the moon in Aries connecting with Chiron, it's going to heighten those energies just a bit. The moon, of course, is our emotional nature, our feeling nature. Our buttons can get pushed more easily with the moon in Aries, so we're more reactive emotionally. However, at the same time, with it connecting to Chiron, I feel like there's an opportunity for some sort of healing in regards to our self. And again, our self-identity, our take charge ability. And with the connection also to the sun in Aquarius, the sextile, which is considered an aspect of opportunity, that Aquarius energy where the sun is at is also very independent and freedom oriented and has this progressive kind of intellectual almost, but very creative idea oriented energy to it. So I just feel like there's something potentially positive that can come about as far as our self-healing or having our sense of independence or freedom in our lives on Wednesday. And then on Friday the 31st, the moon still in Aries, but nearing the end of Aries before moving into Taurus for the weekend, the moon in Aries is going to be challenging Pluto and Saturn. And I feel like this may bring up some emotional transformation in our lives or some feelings of emotional restriction or limitation. It's an energy which is going to push us to maybe make some sort of change in our life to empower ourselves. Whenever we have that square, which is a challenging aspect, it kind of pushes us or forces us in a way to make some sort of changes that's needed. And with Pluto here, Pluto says take back your power and transform your life. And Saturn says restructure your life and restructure yourself and make a plan. Organize and make a plan for yourself. So the moon here, our emotional nature, is going to be, pushed in a way that causes us to make these changes or restructuring or transformation or take our power back. Okay, so that's a little bit about the astrology. Let's go ahead and take a look at the messages from our angels and guides for the week. Now, the first card came out as 2. And turning over the first card, we have Major Arcana, the Magician card here. And at the bottom it says, you can do anything. Take charge of your life. You can manifest what you need and be a success. You can see the fairy here as the magician is standing on a path, getting ready to walk down that path. If you can see in the background, the end of the path has some sort of like a castle or a home or a structure. In one hand, he's holding a magic sword. In the other hand, he's holding a magical ball of light. The flowers at the beginning of his path show that this is a good thing. This is a good direction. There's good choices here. There's this magical energy, again, the magician, magical energy of manifestation. And that kind of goes along with Venus and Mars connecting with Neptune. Even though the way may not be clear, he can't see all the way down the road. He can see the goal ahead, which is the structure, the building, the castle. But he doesn't know what he's going to find along the way, along the path. And he's needing to just use his magical energy, his creative inspiration, his creative visualization, his belief, his trust in the universe, and his trust in himself to hold that magic and utilize that magic in the most positive way to kind of create, the miracles, to create the unfolding of the path. So I feel like this bodes very well as far as the beginning of the week. Of course, it's Major Arcana number 1, which the 1 is about new beginnings, and it's about our sense of self and identity and courage and confidence to make choices or make decisions to move us forward and to, again, create the life that we want, just as the card says. And this is time to, make changes in your life and create what it is that you desire. And of course, we had that new moon last week. And so, this kind of coming off the week of the new moon, of new beginnings, is a powerful message. Now, let's see what card came out with the magician. Interesting. So we have the 5 of spring. This is like the 5 of wands or rods in the traditional tarot. And the number 5 numerologically usually talks about a lot of things happening all at once, or it can be about confusion or chaos, or just, too much energy going off in too many different directions and not being grounded, being a little bit more anxious or nervous with this kind of energy, especially with the spring card, because this is the suit of fire. Again, rods or wands correlates with fire, and fire can be unpredictable as well. So let's go ahead and read the message at the bottom. It says, opposing goals arising from different opinions, feeling at odds with yourself or others, and overly ambitious people. So we can see a couple of young fairies here, and they're playing, they're bantering back and forth. There's a lot going on in the background of the nature picture. Not that that's a negative at all. There's a lot of options here. When we have a lot of things going on, we have a lot of options. But it also, remember, says that there might be opposing goals. And that might be within yourself, but it also might be with other people. So the Five of Spring or the Five of Wands is usually about, these opposing goals or conflicts with other people that are happening. And again, kind of be authentic with what it is that you really desire and what you really want. Don't necessarily, you can listen to other people's opinions, but don't necessarily let other people sway you in what it is that you want to do or what you think is best as far as decisions to be made. Listen to, again, other possibilities or opinions, but don't let those people kind of be overbearing in such a way that it causes any conflict for you. And do what you can to be stable. Remember, it comes out with the Magician card. We have the magic within us to create the reality that we want. And again, the other way to look at the Five of Spring is that these opposing viewpoints are just within ourselves, that we can't make heads or tails out of what the appropriate path is, which again goes back to that Magician card standing on his path, and Venus and Mars connecting with Neptune at the beginning of the week. It might be confusion, besides the chaos, there might be a lack of clarity or confusion as to things being clear. So, it's going to be even more important to do what you can to stay grounded, to meditate, to center, so that you can try to gain some clarity, feel what feels the best as far as decisions or directions to move, if that's what you're dealing with. And just, again, don't allow your own self to talk yourself out of something that you know is right for you, and don't allow others to do that either. Okay, let's take a look at the next card here. And we have the King of Autumn, okay? This is a court card, and the King, of course, is the most mature of the court cards. He's in the sign of Autumn, which is the Earth or Pentacles, which is a very grounded energy. So we're dealing with matters of career, security, finances, life path, goals. The keywords at the top says compassionate, accomplished, charismatic, and gifted. And the message at the bottom here says, be assertive when it comes to what you know is right. And we kind of already said that, in a sort of way, to focus in on what you think is best for you, right? So again, be assertive when it comes to what you know is right. Everything is going your way, a good person or company to work for. So this King of Autumn might represent a person who is in a position of authority. Could be man, or just could be, some sort of masculine, leadership-oriented, take charge sort of energy in a person that comes in to help with the career or to offer you something new, maybe a new job or promotion. But this can also be energy within ourselves, that we have to embody the King of Autumn, that we have to embody this sense of confidence and leadership and assertiveness and feeling accomplished or successful or recognized for who we are as we move forward. Again, we have the moon connecting with Chiron in Aries, and Aries is the sign of the self, very confident, very take charge, very leadership oriented. So this could be healing some of those energies within yourself to where you just say, okay, enough is enough, and I need to take charge of my life, and I need to make decisions based on what I desire. Maybe I need to have more courage or assertiveness in certain interactions or communications with one another. And it doesn't mean aggressiveness, because assertiveness and aggressiveness are two different things. We can be assertive and set our boundaries and state what we desire with confidence without being overly aggressive or frustrating or angry about it. So, the King of Autumn is just very matter of fact. It's very business as usual kind of energy with him. So this is an energy that probably towards the middle of the week and towards the weekend, as we approach the moon connecting with Pluto and Saturn, is something that we're going to be embodying. All right, and then the last card here. Wow, another major arcana. This is major arcana number 7, the Chariot. Now, the Chariot is usually depicted as a horse-drawn carriage with one horse being white and moving in one direction and the other horse being black and seemingly moving in the other direction or the opposite direction. One's facing kind of left and one's facing right. And when you have two horses and they're kind of facing in different directions, you're not going to go forward very well. So with the idea of the Chariot, we want to bring in or rein in our energy and focus so that we can move forward in a forward movement fashion with this Chariot, in such a way that's going to lead us to the next step of our goal, to help us accomplish something. Now, this particular Chariot has 2 dragonflies, of course, because this is the fairy deck. So we have dragonflies that are moving forward with this Chariot. So I feel like dragonfly might be a totem, an animal totem that you want to look up and read more about, that might have some significant messages in it for you. I know in the Ted Andrews Animal Speaks book that dragonfly, the key phrase is trust in the power of light, or trusting in the light. So if you trust in the light or trust in the power of the light, you're going to move forward, and it's going to be positive. It's going to be good. Now let's read the message at the bottom here. It says, success that comes from dedication and self-discipline, celebrating your accomplishments, and bring in the spotlight, or being in the spotlight, which to me, again, goes to that light, being in the light, trusting in the light, being in the spotlight, which can really pretend that you step out with confidence and show who it is that you really are, that you move forward towards your goals, towards your life path, your destiny path, whatever that might be. That might be with the moon challenging Pluto and Saturn, which again, it's a challenging energy, but it's going to push us to make some sort of changes and empower ourselves and restructure our lives in such a way that we do move towards more of an energy of success, recognition, accomplishment, and what we feel like we're here to do. Now, this is the number 7, or the 7th major arcana, and numerologically the 7 is more about self-reflection and contemplation. So I would say there's a moment or two here where we're taking some downtime to meditate, contemplate, self-reflect, be really sure, use powers of discernment to make the decisions that we need to in order to move forward. Okay, but when it comes down to it, again, utilize those energies of the King of Autumn and use that energy of the Chariot to move forward on your path. This is a time of growth from the new moon until we get to the full moon. So it's a time of planting seeds, watering or tending or nurturing those seeds, and helping them to kind of grow and expand as we near that full moon energy. So let's go ahead and take a look at your special message card depending on your stone of choice. Okay, so again, this is a new deck. I don't think I've used this deck yet before for the weekly or the monthly angel card reading. Actually, this was a gift from a dear friend at Christmas time. Thank you, Marty. And this is Wisdom of the Oracle again. So for the people that chose the purple window quartz for this week, what's the message for purple window quartz people? This one actually is calling my attention with my eyes, so we're going to pull that out. And we have Truth Be Told. Truth Be Told, number 14, and it has this wonderful owl. Now, the owl reminds me again of this idea of self-reflection and going within and using our wisdom and knowledge. I'm also drawn here and seeing that there's a mask down here. I feel like some of us maybe have been wearing a mask of whatever, illusion, if you want to call it the mask of illusion, or not seeing something clearly, or not being our true and authentic selves. The mask needs to come off. The mask is down here. So the mask needs to come off so that you can see things clearly, so that you can be your true and authentic self, to exude that true energy of who you are out into the world. We need to use the wisdom and knowledge of the owl. We need to go within and meditate, contemplate, connect with our higher soul self, that wisdom of the higher soul self. That's sort of what the owl represents. Another animal totem here to kind of look up is the owl, which you'll find is about wisdom and inner truth and inner knowledge, and perhaps faith and trust and listening to your intuition. Now, the message says, truth be told. So you're discovering some sort of truth, okay? You're discovering your internal truth, or the truth of a situation or a circumstance, or the truth of maybe how a relationship or a job or career circumstance is going or unfolding. So you have that intuitive internal ability to know. You have the wisdom to know what the truth of the matter is, whatever that truth might be about. And it's time to kind of take that mask of illusion off and see that truth, understand that truth, and then take action accordingly. Make some sort of changes. The number 14 adds up to a 5, and the 5 is about freedom, choices, redirection, opportunities. So there's something here perhaps with freeing yourself in some way, shape, or form, whether it's freeing yourself from a situation or freeing yourself from a way of thinking or feeling or believing. And again, seeing the truth of a situation that you're involved in. Okay, then for those of you that chose the Howlite, okay, this one right away is jumping out, Howlite people. This is fork in the road, okay? So this is quite a blatant message. You're at a fork in the road. You're at a crossroads, so to speak. You're needing to make some sort of decision. Am I going to go left? Am I going to go right? Okay, it's sort of like that chariot with one dragonfly or horse going one way and the other going the other way. You can't stand at a fork in the road and go down both paths. You can go down one path and decide once you're down the path a little ways that you want to turn around and go back and maybe go down the other path. That you can do. But as it is now, if you're needing to make a decision, if you're not making any decision at all, if you're not choosing which path you want to go on, then nothing's going to happen. There's going to be no growth. There's going to be no potential blessings. But if you choose a direction, if you choose a fork in the road to go down, again, you can always change your mind and come back, right? We don't have to stay on a certain path necessarily just because we want to check it out and see what's down that path. So maybe that will help to alleviate some of your fears if you're in a place where you're needing to make some sort of choice or decision about something. Know that you have free will. Know that it doesn't have to be a fated and forever thing. You can, come back and make a different decision later, or come back and go down the other path later, potentially. Or you'll go partway down this new path and find that also then forks in the road, and you can go down a different path yet. So know that you have choice. Know that there's potential here. I'm just looking at the symbology of the card because these are again quite new to me. This is number 13. So the number 13 is a karmic number in numerology, and it's about transformation. It's about inner transformation. So you're needing to go through an internal transformation or death and rebirth process, and perhaps it's before you make the decision and take a fork in the road, or perhaps by taking the fork in the road it's going to cause this inner transformation, death and rebirth kind of experience, transmuting some lower vibrational energies or old belief systems as you again make the decision to take a particular direction in life. Trying to see what that animal is. It's hard for me to see. It's like an animal with horns. I don't know if that's supposed to be a deer or some sort of bison or what have you. If something pops into your head as far as looking at that particular animal totem, certainly that's what it's meant to be for you. So again, you can look up that animal totem message if you indeed are drawn to that animal and have, some sort of a intuitive flash of insight as to what that animal represents. Okay, let's take a look at the message for the people that chose the Chinese fluorite. All right, so let's give this a little shuffle, asking for the message for the Chinese fluorite. Okay, this one almost fell out at the bottom, so I'm going to pull that one out. This is chop wood. Isn't that interesting? What could that potentially mean? Chop wood. It's number 42. The 4 is a very stable number. Organization, structure, work, focus, discipline. The number 2 is a number of balance, also bringing in relationship matters. They add up to be a 6 vibration, which is also a stable kind of number because we have an equal number of points there. If we think about a 6-pointed Star of David, it's a upward pointing triangle and a lower pointing triangle intersected with one another, which signifies as above, so below, balance of our inner world and outer world, harmony. It can represent home and family matters. It can represent career and life path matters. Chop wood. We go back, we see a broom here, okay? So the first thing I think of when I see the broom is that it's time to sweep away the cobwebs. It's time to sweep away what we no longer need. Sweep away the cobwebs in the subconscious, those old belief systems or thoughts or emotions that are holding us back. We don't need to have these feelings or thoughts about ourselves anymore to where we're less than or not good enough or whatever it might be. Those are the cobwebs, so to speak, that need to be swept away. This can also be about sweeping away clutter in our lives. If you want to call it dust or clutter or dirt, be it in situations or circumstances, whether it be job, home, family, relationships, life path, career path, whatever it is. It's like sweep something away and kind of clean your space. Clean your space psychically, clean your space metaphorically in your life, and sweep away what no longer needs to be there. When we have a lot of dirt or cobwebs or things piling up, we want to sweep it away and make it clean, which is, making way for something new to come in. We don't want to, when we're moving, let's say we're moving our space around, the furniture in a room around, or we're moving from one home to another. We don't move into a dirty house or move into a dirty room. When we move things, we're cleaning before we put something new in. So I feel like we're cleaning away something here, or cleaning our space to be able to make room for something new, more vibrant, more blessed. As far as the chop wood kind of significance, I really don't know what that means. And I'm sure some of you have an idea, and please comment on the video if you have an intuitive as far as that phrase of chopping wood or chop wood. What exactly does that mean? I feel like it means we're working towards something. When we're chopping wood, we're working hard. We're going to either chop the wood to build something, or we're going to chop the wood to make a fire, but it means that we have some effort going into something here. We have some effort going into the chopping of the wood to restructure or build something or create something like the fire that's going to, bring us the warmth and the blessings that we're seeking. So that's what intuitively comes in for that one with me. All right, everybody, I hope you've all had a wonderful first month of the year, of course. And thank you so much for your support and your patience and your kindness and your light, your love. I appreciate all of your comments. Thanks for the support on my Facebook pages as well as my website. And hey, remember that I also now have a new podcast with psychic medium Kathy Munson. The 11th of every month is when we are putting up those new podcasts. You can find that new podcast on our YouTube channel called Empowered Voices. Or you can find that also posted on our new Facebook page, Empowered Voices. You can email us at empoweredvoices11@gmail.com, the 11 being the number 11. And yeah, give us some ideas of what you would like to hear in these monthly podcasts. But please check out the one for February, or excuse me, for the one for January. Check out our introduction and podcast for January, and the February one will be coming out soon. So take care, everybody. Lots of love and light, and many, many angel blessings.